There you go, Ray. Have a good day.
Thank you. Welcome to Moonie. I'm Ray Brown. I'm going to go through with you the mural of the Moonie district and what the history it means to Moonie and its people. Moonie was settled in the 1850s, but it wasn't until about 1960 before what was called the new settlers arrived here in Moonie. These were people who drew blocks from the government ballots, mainly to clear the brigalow country that was here. As you can see on the mural here, people who came here came in tents and any other form of way of living that they could. And it was very harsh, no water, no power, and very few roads. In the early days, there was only one road through here, the Moonie Highway, and a small track leading to Gundawindi in the 1960s before they found the oil. The first people that were settled in the area originally started up what's called the Moonie service station when they found the oil, and he started a small carrying service, and he was renowned for losing bales of wool off his truck. Often you'd be coming up to Moonie and he'd be a bale of wool in the middle of the road, another bale of Johnny Green's has just fallen off the truck, so we'd have to go down and give him a hand to load it back up again. As you can see in the distance, the oil was found in November 1961. The American Union Oil 76 was the company involved here. The picture in the background there you'll see, and that's Tim Brown sitting on the toilet, because the story about the toilet is that it was his job to design the thunderbox, which is what they call them, and he's quite a large man, and of course he built the thunderbox, but the seat was so high off the ground that no one else, the women and kids, couldn't get up there to go to the toilet, so they had to redesign the toilet again then. As you can see in the foreground there, snakes, unbelievable amount of snakes, particularly death adders. And when they first put the pipeline through in 1963-64, they had two full-time snake handlers who used to clean the pits before the men would go down, and every morning they'd get 70 to 80 death adders in the pits. So those days are gone, thank goodness. On this side of the mural, you can notice that the amount of trucks that are pulling into the crossroads itself, the travel stop. The trucking industry has a huge influence on what happens here at Moonie. The lady in the background there with the car that's crashed into the side of the motel complex is Colleen C, who used to be over the service station across the road. One night here she couldn't get her husband out of the bar, so she'd had enough and warned him, tooted the horn, carried on, so she decided she'd just drive straight in here and get him out. So that's how that came about. The aircraft up the top is, there's a couple of different stories on this. One is we've often had quite a few aeroplanes land on our highways, just land, come in, have a feed and leave. Couldn't find the airstrip because it's about 9 miles away down the oil field, so they decided this will do. And also here we did have complaints made to our local authority in relation to aircraft flying low during spraying, particularly of cotton. And a lady who I can still even hear in the kitchen at the moment works here. She said they fly that low that she could just hand them a cup of coffee out the window here. So in the background there you can see what's known as potato bar and a red light. This is what Moonie was known for probably 20 years. When the oil was here, Moonie Motel itself did not have a licence. So what they would do was they'd have a room out the back. It was called the potato bar or potato lounge. And it was for $30 or $38, you could buy a carton of beer and you got a girl thrown in with this. So the truckies just thought it was a haven. And often here you would find 30 or 40 trucks parked. And you knew damn well there was 2 or 3 new girls in town. The Moonie Motel used to have a lovely swimming pool here. The kids used to come down from school and swim in it and everything. And then in 1978, in someone's wisdom, they pumped it out. And of course it was a very wet year and the pool just popped out of the ground. So end of the swimming pool, and the little swimming pool got turned into a rockery, and that's about it. So, sorry, this mural here depicts some of the agricultural industries that are in our region. Originally, you could shear sheep 9 months of the year. There was that many sheep around the area and be home here every night. The idea with the beast in the paddock up here was 2 neighbours, Andrew Billsborough and Rob McKelvey, arguing who owned the bull. No one owned the bull, but both of them wanted the bull. So the idea of them pulling them through the fence was, it's mine, and I think the bull actually won. He ripped the fence apart and left. Now the fishing industry is probably one of our highlights in our region. Moonie is in the middle of the two river systems, the Weir River and the Moonie River. And locals are fanatical on fishing. They show people here in the river actually tickling the fish. And this is what they do to get cod, Murray cod, out of the river system. And they're renowned for it, the Riddle family, of getting in the water and actually finding the fish and just tickling them on their fish, and then they bring them to the surface. And there you go, you've got yourself a fish. On this side, you can see this is probably the start of the Moonie oilfield complex itself. It really sort of didn't get motivated until about 1963-64. Moonie oilfields itself is about 9 miles or 14 kilometres southwest of here. The F111 in the corner, the Moonie oilfields for nearly 35 years decided to burn their gas that come up with the oil. So there was a natural flare burning at the Moonie oilfields. And the Ambley Army based at Ambley and Ipswich used to use it as a marker for the F111s. So regularly, and they still do, fly over here with obviously a marker. Probably a low populated area, no one to disturb. So the little fella in the corner there is actually me when I was young. I could never work out. We have 5 oil wells on our property. We don't get any money from them, just get a bit of compensation. And I could not work out how we could farm all this country and have to buy the fuel from the things when we got oil in our back paddock. So I decided I'd take the drill out and I'm going to have my own. I'm going to tap into the pipeline myself until my father caught me. That was the end of it. Okay, the next mural here depicts the Moonie community and its sort of social life that it has. The small school building here, the first school was here in 1962. There was 12 or 14 students. Some of those people have got their kids have gone through the same schools. The lady up there with the stock whip, well, a bit of artistic license because yes, she is a school teacher, and it was from a local family here, Alan Clark, and they knew they were in for a bad day if the kids were on the roof at daylight in the morning. And they were pretty wild boys. And she said if they didn't come down, she'd throw the sausages up, and she would. She'd throw the sausages, everything up on top of the roof, and they'd have to eat them. And then they knew they were in for a shocker of a day if the boy had come down the hallway cracking the whip at 5 o'clock in the morning. The Moonie Sports Club originally started off as 1 tennis court. Now it has 3. It is very much a community orientated facility. It holds everything from weddings to funerals, 21st, you name it, it's there. Every public meeting, growers meeting, CWA meeting, they're held there. It is the benefit for the whole community. The cricket, Moonie has been a very strong cricket area ever since the 1965-66, I think was when Moonie first went into the cricket comp here. The next picture up there is with the gun shoot. We are very lucky. We have a small group of people who have organised a very good gun facility over there for clay target shooting. Also, there is 4 or 5 holes of golf that they play golf over there. It's pretty wild, but it works because there's sand greens here. So the next one up there with the girl on the horse is a local girl whose name was Kathy Green. And she broke the world record in Cairns for high jump on a horse. And the last thing up there is the scroll. Now James and his family have put the scroll up there for any people of note that have come through the area and wish to add their piece of history to our wall. Hopefully we'll add a few more dignitaries to it and to our little piece of history. Thank you.